tradition pioneered by his father, the legendary Padma Bhushan and Vaidya Bhushan K. Tirunelveli. He had his first rank in his 1982 from the University of Calcutta, later completing his postgraduate work in Tirunelveli. His 32 years teaching career earned him Kerala's government's Best Ayurveda Doctor Award in 2014. Retired in 2020 as Professor and Medical Superintendent at the Government Ayurveda College Tirunelveli, he now continues to pursue the ancestral heritage as the Chief Editor of Cortical Ayurveda through his Masters in Sanskrit and prolific writing. Dr. Murishwar ensures that the classical brilliance of his father's teachings remains as a guiding light to the future of global healthcare. We welcome you, sir. It is my privilege to welcome Dr. Sriraj S.K., Associate Professor, School of Fundamental Research in Ayurveda, Kerala University of Health Sciences, Tirunelveli. He has done his UG and MD in Swastavrata from Government Ayurveda College Tirunelveli. He is a member of Academic Council, Kerala University of Health Sciences, resource person for various national and international seminars. He has published numerous papers in peer-reviewed journals. We welcome you, sir, as the moderator of this session.
It's enough. We can. ഇത്ര ഉണ്ട്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ we can put there. Light off അത്. ലൈറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആക്കാൻ ചെയ്യാം. സെൻട്രലിൽ
We sincerely apologize to the three technical errors. May I request Murali sir and Sridhar sir to please join the panel. Moving on to the next session. It is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Sonia Vellasan ma'am, a registered dietitian and clinical nutritionist with expertise in integrative dietetics. She holds a bachelor's degree in nutrition and dietetics from Mount Carmel College, Bengaluru, and a master's in clinical nutrition from Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai, where she was awarded the gold medal and best outgoing student. She is a registered dietitian, certified by the Indian Dietetic Association and a certified dietetic educator. Currently, she serves as program coordinator and registered dietitian at the University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology, where she actively works on integrating Ayurvedic and modern dietetic principles, particularly in cancer and metabolic health. Today, she will be speaking on combining Ayurveda dietetics with modern nutrition in the management of pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. Please join me in warmly welcoming Ms. Sonia Vellasan ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know after the heavy lunch you guys are a little sleepy, but I'm going to make this session a little more interactive so that you guys can participate and make it a little more enlightened. So, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Abhiraj. I would like to thank Dr. Abhilash for inviting me for this seminar and my mentor Dr. Megha for this opportunity. So today I'm just going to tell you that how in my practice I'm trying to integrate Ayurveda and trying to make the quality of life better for the patient. May I please have all of your attention? So we very well know that food in Ayurveda is something most important aspect of health. So we have three important aspects, that is ahara, brahmacharya and nidra. And ahara is one of the main important aspect for your health. And there's a very good saying by Vaidya Nirvana Yogiraja, without wholesome food, medicine will not work. With wholesome food, there is no need for medicine. So we will talk about mainly today the diet. So if you look at this picture, you can see that you must have learned this in your UG or maybe biology class. How do you differentiate these molecules in chemistry, right? You have biomolecules in perspective of proteins, you have amino acids, etc. In drugs, you have different like aspirin, Ozempic, etc. So for all of these, we know that in medicine today, attributes are measurable, identifiable and testable. Definitely modern dietetics also have the attribute which is measurable, identifiable and testable. But how can I understand this chemistry in terms of Ayurveda? Here I have just depicted a picture. So when you look at these movies, you must know that these are romantic movies, right? And you know that the chemistry between them is so evident. Just it's not that you can measure that. It's something that you can feel it, right? So that's something similar to Ayurveda. So when you see Ayurveda is observable, it's unmeasurable, but is it testable? So let's try to understand if it's testable or not. So dietetics in Ayurveda we are having 8 principles, and I know all of you are doctors, you must be very much well aware with these concepts. So I'm not going to go much into detail. So which is known as the Ashtavara Vidhi Vishesh Ayurveda. So these are some of the concepts, that is Prakriti, Karma, Sayog, Rashi, Desh, Kara, Upyog Sanstha, Upyoga. So all of this interpretation, if I ask you, can I interpret that in modern lens? Is it possible? Yes, definitely it's possible. So what I've done here is, I have tried to interpret these concepts in modern lens. So for example, nature of the ingredients can be correlated with the chemistry of ingredients. Food preparation with the cooking and the processing techniques. Food combination with the different dishes with the recipes and cuisines. Amount of food is nothing but the RDA, which is the recommended dietary allowance. Habitat of food and usage is nothing but the local foods and the global foods. Time, that is the season, age, game can be correlated with the age. Dietary rules is not being tested in modern lens. Food usage is nothing but So food usage is nothing but the individual diet in terms of anthropometry, biochemical, clinical and diet evaluation. So these are the 8 principles in contemporary nutrition and dietetics. Now, I am not able to do this experiment, but we did this experiment in one of the events. What we did was we gave dates to a lot of the participants and asked them to rate the dates, the sweetness, right? So each one of them rated maybe like 5 to 6, 7, 8, or maybe somebody has rated 10, right? So what we understood is, here mainly we know that dates is having it imparts satiety, it's pleasurable to consume, provides contentment, etc. And the classification in biology is it balances Vata, Pitta, Dosha and aggravates Kapha. The point that I wanted to make is everybody's perception of taste will be different. So I might feel that the date was, maybe 9. You might feel that it was just 2. So the personalization is something very important because each one of us are different, right? This was a concept we did. We tried to do these small experiment to make you understand that how important personalization is. So in Ayurveda, I'm just going to focus on which has more evidence, the concept that has more evidence in terms of modern and in terms of classics. So we know that Laghu and Ruksha foods reduces the Kapha and Megha. Something similar to that I found in our lens. So there are the light foods and the high fiber food. There is a lot of evidence which says that it reduces the glycemic spikes, increases the GLP-1, improves the adenopectin, and reduces the inflammatory cytokines. So we have good evidence that states that these foods, the light and the high fiber foods, can help in managing the diabetes. One more most important ingredient that I found is Yava, that is the barley. So barley is definitely recommended in prameha. We know that barley is having beta-glucan. So this beta-glucan can actually form the vicious gel. It slows down the carbohydrate absorption, improves the insulin response, reduces the LDL cholesterol, improves the microbiome diversity. So they did a small study. They tried to give barley porridge breakfast. This is the refined flour breakfast, and they found that the patients who were taking the barley porridge, lower postprandial glucose peak was there. There was lower insulin spike. There was improved satiety for 4 to 5 hours. One more ingredient that I found interesting is mudga, that is the green gram, so which is the Laghu and Tridosha balancing. Here again we have very good evidence stating that it's a low glycemic food, high resistance starch, improves the gut microbiota, protein which is stabilizing the glucose fluctuations. So there was one patient who was having high fasting insulin. Afternoon sugar crash was there. We just tried to replace very simple thing. Evening snack biscuits with sprouted green gram and some cucumber. That improved the glucose stability, reduced the evening cravings, and there was a better satiety. This was one of the clinical cases that we saw. There are a lot of other cases, but just giving you a very simple example for now. Then, Pitta and Kashaya. Here again, the bitter phytochemicals which is present in all the Pitta and Kashaya rasas activate the AMPK pathway, improves the mitochondrial efficiency, enhances the glucose uptake, and reduces the oxidative stress. So we have few examples like bitter gourd, fenugreek leaves, drumstick leaves, and these all will improve the insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. And we have good evidence for such examples as well. Then, one more important concept is circadian timing that I found very interesting. So, in Ayurveda, we know that the largest meal has to be taken in the afternoon because your Agni is very strong at that time. So, even in modern evidence, we have that insulin sensitivity is highest in morning. Late night eating can actually increase the glucose variability. Early dinner improves the fasting insulin. So, there was one more thing that dinner should be like, which is mentioned in Ayurveda. And we found one case, a patient who was eating a dinner at 10:30 p.m. The fasting glucose was 110 to 150. We tried to just make very simple change, shifting the dinner to 7 p.m. And within 8 weeks, we found that the fasting glucose drops to 95 to 100 mg per day. Now, the same 8 principles that we saw in contemporary nutrition and dietetics, what I've done is I've tried to correlate that with the diabetic lens. So nature of ingredients can be in terms of differential insulin sensitivity, food preparation can be with like GI changes with mining or fermentation, food combination can be with carbs and fats, amount of food, the protein size or the insulin load, habitat of the food end user, that is the early versus late nutrition, dietary rules, that is about the meal sequencing that we'll talk in our future slide. And then they have the ABCD approach. So, can this concept be utilized in modern diabetics? Definitely yes. So when you look at this picture, this is a healthy lunch, right? You can see boiled rice, you can see some moong dal, lady's finger palya, buttermilk, carrot and cucumber. So when you look at this picture, can anybody voluntarily tell me what do you understand? Like, how would you describe this particular plate? You can be wrong, but that just what comes to your mind when you look at this plate? Anybody? It's okay then. Anything that comes to your mind? Yeah. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So she says that half plate is of protein, then we have vegetables, we have carbs. That is absolutely right. That's what comes to our mind, right? So what I've done here is, I have done a nutrient composition for all those ingredients. I don't want you to focus on the whole table, but just focus on the total, the energy, the protein and just the carb. So the total energy you're getting is 510, protein is 23, fat is 6.6 and carb is 84.3. Now, the same healthy lunch, I would ask you to classify in terms of Ayurveda. What would you do? Just basic thing. You would classify it in terms of rasas and gunas. So, like for example, the boiled rice is Guru, Madhura, Snigdha, Shita. Then you have the moong dal, which is the Madhura, Kashaya, Kosha, Lagu. Right? Similarly, we have other ingredients which can be classified. Now, how can you change this plate, this particular plate, for a pre-diabetic? Very simple. You will use complex carbohydrate, that is brown rice or whole wheat, barley, millet, and you will go for 2 cereal options, and you will try to control the portion size, and you more of fiber vegetables, that is non-starchy vegetables like beans, green vegetables, carrots, more protein, beans, lentils and chickpea, and most important thing that I found in my practice was meal sequencing. So very simple thing, you will ask your patient to start eating with the vegetable first with the fiber, then follow it with the protein source, and then you finish it with the carbohydrate. So first you eat the palya, then you eat some dal, and then you mix it with your rice and then you eat it. So this has shown very good evidence that your glucose levels have been stabilized even during eating. So very simply, when I told you, I would give 2 cereal options. So instead of giving 1 cereal option, half cup of brown rice, 1 small fulka, the moong dal remains the same. I would give a beef palya, then buttermilk, black sundal for the protein, then some onion, tomato and cucumber. Now, the same plate, how can I change it for a lean diabetic patient that is having more of vata dosha? Very simple. What I would do is, I would take rice, which is the Rajamuni rice, add 1 teaspoon of ghee on it, moong dal with some coriander. I would give snake gourd vegetables are good in terms of vata dosha, and some coconut, buttermilk with some ginger, hing and cumin, boiled green gram, boiled carrots and cucumber. So when you give boiled carrots, that is a better digestibility for the predominant vata dosha patients. So if I want to deconstruct it in terms of Ayurveda, Vatahara foods have been included like ghee, coriander, snake gourd, ginger, hing. Vata pacifying foods have been included, that is boiled green gram and carrots. Similarly, I have just done the nutrient composition for the lean diabetic. So you can see energy is 399, carbs is 58, we have reduced almost 60%. There is dietary fiber that we have improved. Protein is there, that is 18.83. Now, same plate, if I want to change it to a obese diabetic, that is more of So I will go for millet with 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. I would go for tur dal with black pepper, ginger and mustard seeds. Then I will go for radish, which is sauteed with some jeera, buttermilk with some ginger, garlic and black pepper, and the black sugar remains the same, and some onion and cucumber, right? So this would be better for somebody who is having a kapha dosha dominance. Here if I want to deconstruct, I have given the kapha foods, that is a millet, ginger, pepper, jeera, radish, black sugar. So similarly, I am trying to just change this particular plate with respect to lean diabetic or obese diabetic. Most importantly, I will show you what is the change that we are looking at. So here again you can see energy is 390, carbs is 57, dietary fiber is 50, protein is 17.84. So this is something very important. You can see that the energy has remained the same, though I have changed the plate with respect to different like obese diabetic or lean diabetic. The energy remains the same. I have not tried to compromise on the nutrition that I consider. If you look at the macronutrient composition, you can see that the carbs is high in healthy weight, but otherwise pre-diabetic, lean diabetic and obese, it remains the same. The protein also remains the same. The fat is also almost the same. So the concept here I want to tell you is, if you are personalizing the diet, it does not have to mean that you are compromising on the nutrition. We did a very little bit of change and we changed it to according to that particular dosha, right? So that's the takeaway here, that even though you are going to make these changes, you don't compromise on the nutrient composition. So Ayurvedic food classification is qualitative and personalized, it is based on the dosha specific, but modern dietetics is something that is quantitative. So when you mix the qualitative and quantitative approach, it becomes an excellent for the patient as well to take it, and there is a better acceptability as well. So these are some, I don't think I'll go through this, but yeah, the dietary modifications for pitta, like what are they supposed to eat more of, eat less of, for kapha and for vata. So yeah, this is a very small thing that I showed you, but we also work on different case studies. So we recently finished our cancer project. That was something we are dealing with integrative dietetics, and we have seen better quality of life approach. And so we run a program that's called as Ayurveda Dietetics program. We have a team of a Vaidya, a biochemist and myself. 3 of us are running up this course. We are trying to educate people on how can we integrate these sciences and make it better for the patient. This is our university that I am coming from. Thank you so much.
A huge thank you to Ms. Sonia Ma'am for their insightful session. Now the attendees who have queries may please note them on a paper and hand them over to the volunteers. It is my great privilege to introduce our last speaker of the day, Dr. B. Sudhakaran Reddy sir, Professor and Head of the Department, Swasthavavrata at JSS Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore. With over 28 years of teaching experience, he has mentored generations of Ayurvedic scholars at both UG and PG levels. A distinguished academician, researcher, and author, he has contributed 44 index publications, guided 18 postgraduate scholars, and served as a PhD guide and examiner across reputed universities in India. He is the author of the standard textbooks on Swasthavavrata, Yoga Research Methodology, and Biostatics. He has also served in curriculum development committees under the NCSM and has been honored with the National Best Teacher Award in Swasthavavrata. Today, Sa will be dealing with role of yoga and diet in the management of pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. P. Reddy, sir.
Thank you for a nice introduction. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Loudly, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
All are with us. Okay, now, because first session difficult, second also so difficult. Because Madam first one told that first session after taking food, the therapy kapha increasing. And luckily, we didn't have third race. In Karnataka, afternoon third race will be there. After third race, officially everybody will sleep. Now here, third race was less because of only what you can call Chellas was there. That I will speak only Chellas. The Chellas will not give that but because onion was there. That onion will teach that. So you will not sleep. And now, since morning, from the keynote address to till now, we are hearing about pre-diabetes, insulin resistance. And almost all speakers, less than my body, they spoke everything except yoga. Ayurveda diet also, she spoke nicely. And TDU, they are doing a nice work regarding Ayurveda with modern integration. Morning, you might remember, Nambu sir was telling regarding copper and etc. And I also witnessed that one. So one of my students working along with her in TDU, the biggest university in 100 acres of land, very nice. If anybody is to Bangalore, try to visit her. There is so much research on Ayurveda. And moving towards our session, respected judges, respected panelists, and also my co-speaker, Principal Madam. And I'm thankful to my junior, my best friend, Dr. Jayan, inviting for me. This is my college where I am working. This is Ayurveda College. You don't miss whenever I come to Mysore to see my college. Because of not that one ambience. I am near to footage of Chamundi. Very nice ambience is there. You can see that Ayurveda College should be like this one. And doesn't mean that your Ayurveda not like that, it's also good yours, but ours is very nice, I can say. And this is Pranamas to my Sutru Guru Parampara. JSS stands with the Jagat Guru Sri Shivaratri Yogeshwar. So their tradition is there. You know, Karnataka, all the Swamitis are there. So always we start with only Pranamas to our Swami. And also thanks to Government Ayurveda Tirunelveli and team Chaturthi for inviting me. And today I am going to speak regarding the role of yoga and diet in the management of pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. By teaching pictures, you might be knowing that what I am going to speak. One side yoga, one side is ahara, vihara, achara. We have ahara, vichara, ahara, vihara. So others spoken by people. Now first question comes. In India, diabetes is increasing a lot. We are second and first. In diabetes, India, second rank and first rank. Second or first? All are ranking second. Whether they are going to become first? Population may get first or second? Population. But we are population wise first, diabetes second, but we are going to become diabetes first, population second. Because China wanted to be first in population as well diabetes. Diabetes was China only. But luckily, that is, it's not luck, bad luck because we are first. But they don't want to do the second in population. You know, one thing, China now started to beat India to become number one in population. Now they are previously adopted the family planning. Now they are saying don't adopt family planning. You should have two or three people. Because India, already us, we should be number one. That is there. They know, even though they are number one population, the resources are there, manpower is there, everything is there. But India is difficult. But we don't want first. We want second or third. But still what we can't do anything. Okay. But diabetes, we are second running. So these are the facts. 2024, 89.8 million people are. What is the saddest part is India is the second highest number and diabetes is the tip of the iceberg phenomena. Because of this only, we could not be able to prevent it. Whole seminar, I appreciate, congratulate people of college, repay. Otherwise, reversible. So whenever you got some problem, we are going to some service people, they are going to repair our vehicle. So here, we are repairing our body. So that way, repair may be full form different, but repair is actually needed for the diabetes prevention. Okay. Iceberg phenomenon, I know, I think you know it very well. Only tip of the ice we are seeing diabetes. But larger inside is the pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. That is important. So if you want to prevent it, you have to screen the population, those who are risk of the diabetes, for the pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. Now, these are topics I am going to cover. You know very well what is pre-diabetes. Morning you are listening, but WHO says there are controversies are there. WHO and American Diabetes Federation. But lastly they agreed that this will be normal but higher enough to be classified diabetes mellitus. We have diabetes mellitus classification, diabetes definition there. But here the classification may not be possible, but it is high. It's running high, but not able to classify diabetes. That's called or we can say the intermediate between the diabetes and also not healthy person. See here, 5.7 and 6.4. This is very important. Whenever you come across anybody with tiredness, by evening sir I am getting tiredness. When I am working also I am getting tiredness. But I am taking food properly. I am doing working also. But I am getting tiredness. Age of 30 years. Please remember, age of 30 years, if they get little tiredness also, please ask them to go for this one. So that we could able to diagnose early. So that it will be reversible. 100% reversible. 100% reversible pre-diabetes. And these are risk factors we should know. We should ask. When a patient comes history, we'll ask question that your mother, father, or everybody are in the home. In history, diet. What is that? Always they are consuming more carbohydrate than protein. That's why. And age factor. Above the age of 45, common pre-diabetes. And weight increases, chances of the pre-diabetes increases. And lifestyle, smoking, alcohol, sedentary lifestyle. Very, very important sedentary lifestyle. And inactivity, physical inactivity. They are taking food and simply like shopkeepers. Most of the business people, shopkeepers, morning they will sit, evening they go to home and they will only count the money, how much you got it. But there is no expense at all. They will never do Vyayama, it's like that, they will be promoted. Now, what is prevalence? See, 22.5% pre-diabetic prevalence in India. 1 in 4 is pre-diabetic. After 30 years, you take anybody, among them, 1 will be there. If there are 10 people, 1 will be there pre-diabetic. That is India's condition. We may be not knowing, but we have. If you do now for your CBD also, definitely there will be such a condition. Okay. And 1 in 2 elevated blood sugar, 1 in 3 diabetes. What is the highest? But this is old data. If yesterday there was one more data 2025 says that the highest pre-diabetes diabetes is in, anybody knows? This is old one. 1 year back. What is that? Now South India entered. That's called Goa, Puducherry, third is Kerala. You are in third place. We don't want to go to first place. We want to go to 10th one. That is possible after my lecture. Okay. And J&K, lowest pre-diabetic and diabetic. What will be the reason? Depends upon the geographical area, depending on the lifestyle, depending on the food habits. This is it. So, lastly they try to say that South Indians are rice eaters. But Odisha also weight eaters. If anybody went to Odisha, Orissa, just see, more than us they take rice. Rice and dal preparation. If you go to Jagannath Puri temple, a big temple where so many dishes are available, all dishes are only two things common. One is rice, one is your pariputta, the red gram, and jaggery or sugar. That's all. Wherever you go to hotel, common, and fish is common, and non-veg is common. So same like Kerala, that is our coastal area. So that if it is that diabetes is high. Now in the South India, it is again Goa, Puducherry, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, are all gain traction in diabetes. That's it. Bangalore also becoming capital city of the Karnataka for diabetes prevention. Now, it is what is insulin resistant, very easy to understand. And since morning you know very well. Whenever we take food, after taking carbohydrates, the pancreas will secrete the insulin. That insulin, what it will do insulin? Insulin will push the insulin, push into the cells from the blood. Here, in the blood it will be there, but the tissues will be resistant. That's why it will be going on in the blood only. So the blood glucose will be increasing. Our cells will not be utilized because of the resistance to the insulin. Why it comes? By fat loss. The number one cause only in obese people, the cells will never accept it. So they will resist the insulin, that's why blood glucose will be increasing. So this will be completely reversible resolution. See that one. Food make insulin and cells resist insulin, sugar level is fat, and then we get the tightness, etc. Another picture see here, when food we take, glucose, insulin will be secreted, the pancreas it will be utilized. The second one, resistant. The cells will not be taking the insulin. The resistance will that's it. And third one, type 2 diabetes. See there, the difference is there. In type 2 diabetes, there is no insulin secretion by the pancreas. But other times, insulin secreting from pancreas, but our cells is not resistant. That's the only difference between the pre-diabetic and type 2 diabetes and even insulin resistant also. Now, the causes, complications, this morning we are hearing the first one, obesity, inactivity, genetics, aging, medication, rare diseases. Medications, please remember, anybody in the age of 25 or below 25 and what they are using steroids. Steroids, they will be prone to get the pre-diabetes. And age factor already discussed, and the genetics, very well we know. And insulin resistant if it persisting long period, it goes to the type 2 diabetes, PCOS, atherosclerosis, dyslipidemia, and hypertension. So these are all the complications of the insulin resistance if we are not under control. Now, the management of pre-diabetes insulin, dietary changes, as Madam told, and morning also our Watson are telling, whole grains, reduce carbohydrates, increase dietary fibers, and physical activity, weight management, manage stress. So these are the only principles that we can do. Yes or no? Yes or no? This is all in your hand. We don't need to go to any medical shop to purchase this one. No need to go to any doctor. If you know these things, we can prevent the pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. Everything is in our hand only. Only thing is that we are lazy. Our time is bad. We don't want bitter taste. We want only mother taste. That's why we are taking more carbohydrates and sweets, etc. Who will how many like it? Every day, nobody like it. Okay, but I will tell later. What happens if you take Ayurveda? So these are the next is role of yoga. I am not going to teach you the fundamentals of yoga. Yoga, what it will do? If you do any yoga practices, it reduces the stress. The stress is the number one factor in pre-diabetes and insulin resistant, even diabetes 2 also. And improves the insulin sensitivity as I told. The cells will get sensitivity so that insulin will be replaced with cells. And enhance the glucose uptake. When you do exercise, the glucose uptake will be more. And lastly, support the weight management. That also one more culprit in the pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. So these are the main importance of yoga. Whatever you do yoga practice, these are the 4 things. Now, yoga practices, pre-diabetes, insulin resistance. Hatha yoga practices. In Hatha yoga, asanas, kriyas, mudra, etc. What do you do? Just stretches, postures, breathing techniques to improve the insulin sensitivity and reduce the stress. And in yoga, what is in yoga? in other words, they develop China people deeper. So when you do yoga, makarasana, siddhasana, etc., that's simple. But you go deeply, how to do it. Like advanced techniques are available in yoga. And lastly, restorative yoga, nothing but to reduce the stress. We have Shavasana and Makarasana. Shavasana, Makarasana, how many are doing daily? We are not sleeping? You are sleeping, not Shavasana. That's why you are not telling. Sir, we are not doing Shavasana. You are sleeping, but not doing Shavasana. Shavasana and Makarasana both are difficult asanas. That's what they are doing. They are not doing. If you do the two things, as per the text, as per the guru, as per the somebody, definitely you can prevent all the diseases, especially pre-diabetes. Now, the role of yoga that we know very well. What happens? If you do yoga, enhance the glucose uptake by sponge effect. You know sponge? When what is there, or mapping of sponge is there. Like that way, the insulin will enter into the tissue level. It will not be in the glucose will enter into the tissue level, not in the blood level. So from the blood, it has to go to tissue level. What is purpose? Sponge effect will be there. Second one, attacking the root cause of visceral fat. So visceral fat is the root cause for the insulin resistant as well as pre-diabetic, where the yoga asanas will be helpful. And third one, cortisol reduction. So whenever it is stressed, there will be cortisol increase will be there. So this cortisol can be reduced that by the yoga asanas. And the person will be stress free, then definitely the sugar level will be come down. And neuroendocrine balance also helpful. And these are the yoga asanas suggested. So these are not suggested. This is scientifically proved by clinical trials. These are the simple asanas I quoted, everybody can do. So after this 2-day seminar, third day, James will tell tomorrow in Directory, whatever you learn from here, you have to practice. If you practice all these things, you will never get it. You can prevent diabetes, type 2 diabetes also. See, it's very simple. Surya Namaskara, Tadasana, Trikonasana, Vakrasana, Vajrasana, Gomukasana, Pavanamukasana, Dipalukasana, Bhujangasana, Dhanurasana, Yoga Nidra. That's what we have technique. So these are the asanas. Everybody knows asanas, but how many are doing? That's the only problem. So to prevent pre-diabetes, insulin resistant, I told first only, no need to worry, do only work. What is work? Do yoga asana, do physical exercise, definitely prevent it. Now, what happens is everything. So now these asanas, all asanas are set of asanas, stretching and relaxation of the muscles on chest, abdomen, waist. See all the muscles, they have effect of the chest, abdomen. So where pancreas is there, everything is there, so the stretch will be there. And compression of the abdomen region gives a massage effect on the internal organs in the abdominal pelvic region. This increases the blood circulation to the internal organ like pancreas and stimulates secretion. Adipose tissue in the abdominal region, which is main cause of central obesity, may be reduced. Thus, reduction in the fat dose of areas, decreasing insulin resistance, promote the active glucose uptake by the muscles. Very simple mechanism. We do yoga. And lastly, especially Tadasana and Surya Namaskara will help in insulin production and improve digestive fire. Because morning in Ayurveda, they call Ama. So when Agni is there, Ama is more, the problem will be there, tougher. So Agni Dik is there. So these also they quoted and they research, they find out that these asanas will prevent the pre-diabetes. Now pranayama. What is pranayama? They is that one. Nadi Shodhana pranayama, Surya Piti, Brahmani. These three, most of the people having pre-diabetes associated with irregular or reduced sleep. As I told, vihara, loss of sleep or insomnia also cause for it. So because of these practices, then definitely there will be improving sleep. And it reduces the release of stress hormone, cortisol, enhance the production of feel-good hormones like endorphins or serotonin. So these hormones will be released, then the stress will be released, and the stress is released, the glucose will be coming down. And it also reduces mental stress, fatigue, muscle tension in the body, and restores the body energy after yogasana practice. Brahmani soothes the mind and sharpens the brain, helps achieve calm and peaceful mind. Did you heard about Brahmani in COVID-19? COVID-19, all yogacharyas propagated the Brahmani pranayama. So in Brahmani pranayama, the COVID-19 they prevented also. There are some reports also there. Because there is sleep and also brain, there will be some good hormones will be secreted. Thus it acts as the COVID-19 index also differential. And now the check karma. This may be difficult, but what is the practice? Is possible in this one. See, yogic rate Kunjal Kriya, Kapalabhati, Agnisana, stimulate the pancreas cell and improve the efficiency. The study shows that is before and after the pancreatic enzymes level, pancreatic activity also they measured it. Okay, very useful. But here we can't do daily. Shed karmas, only one shed karma can be done daily. Anybody? Second year BMS or final year field scholars. One shed karma can be done daily. Or two. Minimum one. Sir, first list of the shed karmas will answer. Dautir Basti, Krataka, Neti, Naudi. Which one? Krataka can be done daily. So that you can fix also can remove it. You can improve your eyesight. Very simple. And if you do Kapalabhati, again it will be helpful. So every day Krataka definitely will do. So all the shed karmas cannot be done daily. But once in 15 days, if you do this Kunjal Kriya, definitely your pancreas will be activated. So that's why my suggestion that every 15 days you can do this Kunjal Kriya. Definitely our internal organs, all the organs will be healthy. Now the role of diet, this part is, as already made spoke, whole unprocessed food. Very important. When you go for the supermarket, now all the supermarket, what you get, they write whole grain atta, but golum powder. Who knows? If you purchase wheat, go to mill and get it powder and compare it that whole atta packet, then you can say that which is good, which is not good. We don't know. Now directly we are purchasing wheat from the shop. We are going to mill. In front of him also only he is making the flour. That color is different. When you purchase a supermarket, you don't know. But they make whole atta, Patanjali, or so many are there. You just compare it, then you can take. So this is very easy to prevent. Mani Sarva selling, very easy. You make it your own self so that you get the whole grain. So in Mudga, Masha, everything, whole grain if you take it, definitely fiber will get. So in the pre-diabetes, insulin resistant, the main fiber is more fiber, less carbohydrates, more proteins. This much only enough for us. All these things available in our home, but we are became lazy, we are dependent on the supermarket. That's all. Okay. Now, see low glycemic index foods and fiber rich foods, healthy fats, limited and sugars. Limited and sugars, complete average good, but we can't avoid limited. Now, principles that can choose low glycemic index foods only, include high fiber, have diverse but balanced meal, balance the carbohydrate intake by opting complex carbohydrate, whole grain with wheat and barley. So if you whole grain with wheat, that's called complex carbohydrates. It will take time to digest so that blood glucose will be less. Polished rice, anyway you are all lucky, right? Because traditionally you are taking only parboiled rice, you are good. Still third is there, right? That may be because of high consumption of the carbohydrates, less proteins and physical inactivity. Not all consumed there. Because that only is going on increasing. Now include nuts, seeds, olive oil, etc. Remain hydrated, monitor portion size, overeating should be cut down, follow regular eating schedule, whatever I just said. Now see recommended daily allowance for pre-diabetic individuals, protein 1.2. 1.2 is correct or 1 is correct? 1 is for non-biological people. 1.2 I made it or nutrition, NIA, National Institute of Nutrition, they suggested 1.2, increase the little proteins. And carbohydrates less, fat 5 grams per day, fiber 30 to 40 grams, vitamin B complex very important, C is important, and A, D, E, K also important, minerals, calcium, zinc, and calories 1800 per day. Now, whole grains as I told, we know brown rice, etc. We are practicing. No need to say to Kerala people, especially brown rice is good for health. Okay. Now, see, ragi, fox millet, and crude millet. Now in Kerala, as I know, the millets are less consumed. Yes or no? If you increase millets in the diet, apart from your rice, definitely pre-diabetes can be prevented. That research shows. In Karnataka, there is one doctor, Father Ali. He is not a doctor, not BMS doctor, not a Ayurveda doctor. He got doctorate after conducting research millets and diabetes. He got so many awards in Karnataka government. Wherever he goes, he will propagate millets. So most millets in Karnataka available ragi ball, ragi ganji, ragi roti, etc. And second one, Ray, Namane, they call it, I don't know Malayalam, RYE, Ray, that's called in our Sanskrit, nowadays they will find Kannada, but that also available. And we know one more, Jowar, Bajra. So these are all available. They will prepare millets upma, upittu. What upittu? Upma, millet upittu. And millet bath, like that they prepare. And as ragi dosha, bajra dal khichdi, brown rice vegetable. Pulses reduce, whole pulses you can give it, and some liquid certain low glycemic index, you know very well. And milk and dairy products, especially in reticular acute. Vitamin K found in some products can improve the insulin sensitivity. So every day include moderately milk and milk products so that we get the vitamin K. That vitamin K is very important in controlling the diabetes mellitus. And low in fat, calorie, carbohydrate, is prebiotic, probiotic, calcium, vitamin B12, low glycemic index. So these points are very important. Rich in probiotics, we know very well curd and buttermilk. And calcium also rich in the milk. And vitamin B12 is very important. And they are all around 30 to 40 glycemic index. That's why we can safely use. And during the COVID-19, all over India, there was one talk, golden milk. What is golden milk? Milk with haritra. Color is golden, that's a golden milk. It's not even golden. When you add haritra, it becomes like a gold. That's a golden milk they propagated. And it's good also, practicing. Ayurveda says, Nitya Rasayana, milk, and haritra we know very well, the quality. So combinedly, and Nishamalaki, also Nisha, also controls the diabetes. So what is wrong with us? With that, every day, everybody can take with these two. Now, non-vegetarian food. All are non-vegetarians, most probably. Sir, the first question asked, sir, diabetes, whether we should take non-veg or not? Okay, what non-vegetarian we can say? So there is high quality protein, number one in the non-vegetarian, omega-3 fatty acid and essential nutrients. So these will make you to reduce the or control the sugar level in the blood. Now green vegetables we know very well, and in Kerala all are consuming development. But important is that whenever you are consuming the leafy vegetables, two things are there: micronutrients and fiber. These micronutrients are essential in controlling the pre-diabetes and insulin resistance, and also fiber. So when we want fiber, you go for the adding more leafy vegetables in your diet. And nuts and dry foods also important. See, they are high in healthy fat, protein and fiber, which can help stabilize blood glucose levels and improve insulin sensitivity. All are evidence-based. Every nut is there having their own activity. Now, diet changes we need: increase the omega-3 fatty acids from our nuts, choose complex carbohydrates, and stay hydrated. Benefits of diet changes: improves the insulin sensitivity, regulates blood sugar level, supports weight management, reduces inflammation. These are all four are the culprit for the pre-diabetes insulin, so that we can make this one. And Ayurvedic perspective, I am little different because morning Purva Upas of prameha can be considered as your pre-diabetes. But I searched literature, even though prameha is a kapha predominant. So here Apatya Nimitta Prameha mentioned by Acharya Susuta. Kapaja Prameha is Sadhya. Pre-diabetes is Sadhya. Reversible. So that way I connected Kapaja Prameha and Apatya Nimitta Prameha can be considered as a pre-diabetes. But this one solution cause is their Guru Snitta Pinchila Madhura Ahara Rasa imputed Kayatni, Dharmagni, there is from Sama in the formation, morning at what we should do reverse? What we should do? Included which can contact Guru Snitta Pinchila Guna, Kapameta, Leda, and should be Ruksha Laku Guna, Kapahara, Medohara. But this law, Sonia Minamaso spoke, Nasu Vani, and Rakunasu spoke. Now let us see. Yava, you know very well. Everybody knows Yava, Ayurveda graduates, and 28 to 30, see the glycemic index very less. So every day you can also add the Nitya Sevanya Ahara, yes or no? Yes or no? Then see, Chestika Shali. How many agree the rice will grow within 60 days? To grow rice crop, how many days we need it? Normally 120 days. 120 days, 3 to 4 months more than. Some are 3 months, 3.5 months, 4 months. Normally it is 4 months, 120 days. But where Acharya is mentioned, Chestika Shali grown in 60 days. Is it really possible nowadays? It's available. It's available. 60 days they grow and they harvested 60 days. They also sent to CFTRA in Mysore. They came to know that less carbohydrates comparatively 120 days, high protein comparatively 120 days. Whenever it grows longer period, carbohydrate will be increasing. That's what they came to know. So whatever Ayurveda said, it is correct only they prove. But cultivation 90 days is not so easy. That type of crop is not possible, what I say. Only few areas they are growing, but not always. If it is there, everybody can grow, everybody can prevent the diabetes mellitus. It is not practical issues are there, they say. Okay, let's say you are going for the 90 days or 120 days. Commonly 120 days only, 4 months will take. That by 4 months, carbohydrates percentage will be going on increasing, that's what they say. Now, Mudga, you can prepare Mudga Yusha. Made us go about Mudga, Mudga, but I can suggest only Mudga Yusha, which are prepared Ayurveda, excellent food. In our hospital, for everybody, we are asking them, go for Mudga Yusha. But in Snehapana, during Snehapana, they are Mudga Yusha only getting in Snehapana. Night, rice and rasam, but daytime, Ganji or Mudga Yusha. When obesity comes, compulsory morning Mudga Yusha only. So very good, excellent preparation of Ayurveda. You can suggest in their 30 years age onwards we start. Or can be very weekly once. That's enough. And Pulantha. In Pulantha, there was one study, in vitro study, Pulantha Yusha and pre-diabetes. In pre-diabetes, they studied alpha amylase, alpha glucoside and scavenging activity they found in the Pulantha. There are two types of Pulantha. They studied Pulantha, coarse powder and making Yusha, whole Pulantha and using it. In both, they are not in significant results, but they say that you just make a coarse powder of the Pulantha, soak it in water and prepare the Yusha. That is better, they say. But results came same, but they say that this will be bioavailability more in the coarse powder. That's what they say. But if they find out that there is an effect in the pre-diabetes, in vitro studies. In vitro study is universal that you can take up a clinical study to prove that effect of the Pulantha Yusha in pre-diabetes and insulin resistance. And Adani, Red Gram, Tuvanda, you are using Manipal in Kerala, that's it. So every day they are using, but in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, they are eating more carbohydrates also. But every day they are using this dal. That's why maybe proteins are high, pre-diabetes level is less than Kerala and Goa or Odisha. Okay, so that's the reason. And Chanaka, very well you know, and Chanaka Yusha is also useful in obesity as well as prameha. And Odrava, as I told, code of millets, all the millets, they did research conducted in pre-diabetes and diabetes, even insulin also. Everything they said that is good. Only thing is that Ayurveda not spoken heavily on this one. Why? They said that it is a Lagu Ahara and also Varjya, Ayurveda says. But they said that it's good for diabetes only, not for all. They said that diabetes and obesity, they are good, but not daily intake. That's why Acharya Charaka, Acharya Bhagavata, never added in the Nitya Sevanya Ahakarya. It's a beautiful religion. Nitya Sevanya Ahakarya, they are not mentioned. But later on, Bhagavata Bhagavata mentioned. But we don't know. That's why they are not supposed to take daily. But weekly, twice or thrice, you can add it nowadays because we are becoming sedentary lifestyle. So that it will be useful. Now, Gramya, Mamsahara, I told now, for diabetes people, what are? So this is not coding, not our, whatever available. That's all hormones only. Because if you are available, you go for this one. So, Tiktarasa, Laguguna, Ushnavirya, Kapahara with low glycemic index. And if they are not able to get this one, you can go for only Ajam Mamsa. Ajam Mamsa also good. It's also low. That also good. So suggest only Ajam Mamsa or this one, or is sheep. That's all. No other thing. Because maybe high fiber, maybe high quality iron, etc. But fat will be more. That's also there. So in the Kukuta, fat will be less. Other Kukuta, fat is more. That's why suggest this one. And Padola, you know very well. And there's modern researchers say in Ayurveda there is no research in pre-diabetes, but modern research says that Patola it acts as an anti-diabetic activity and shift also is useful. Now Ayurveda, the very well known Ayurveda and Kerala juice widely available. Now you know Kapiva, one manufacturing unit, they are preparing every juice available in market, in all modern medical shops is available. They have made one kitchen, Kapiva people, they find out everything. In that, this Kerala juice is available every day, morning. So people are taking irrespective of, it is consumed Ayurveda. They won't have to, because everybody knows that Kapiva, this one, bitter juice will be useful. It is true. In my college, Supreme Pharmaceuticals, London Road, Mysore, they brought up one product, bitternut capsule. They asked us, can you conduct clinical study? In animal studies, it proved that anti-diabetic. Clinical study conducted. Now bitternut capsule available in medical Ayurvedic shop. Bitternut. That bitternut clinical study conducted by Ayurveda College is excellent, based on only carbo. Now Koshatagi also useful, and joke as you know very well, you can add it whenever season is there, in season food you promote it, and Kapita and Amalaki, Nitya Sevanya Ahara, morning somebody was speaking about the Rasayana, daily if you take it, Rasayana also can prevent your pre-diabetes and insulin resistance, that way, in Ayurveda. Now Takra, so very important, probiotic. Among the milk products, I prefer Takra for every obese person and also diabetic person. After meal you can take it. So there are three things are there. If you take morning water after getting up from the bed, afternoon buttermilk, night milk will prevent the Trivida Rogas. Water will be Vata Pitta Kapha, Ari, Ajava Vyadi, etc. Trivida Rogas can be prevented. Only principle is three. Morning after getting up water, afternoon buttermilk, night milk. Sloka, I am not getting it. The sloka is there. Somebody mentioned Abhinav Sastarita, there is sloka. Okay. Right. Puranam and all over the world, India, people ask question to you, sir, Madhu is good for diabetes. What we can say as Ayurveda doctors? Not teachers, students. What we can say? Cut down the or stop the taking of Madhu, but Madhu preparation mentioned Ayurveda in all aspects. But diabetes related in Madhu, modern research says that it also low glycemic index. It's good. Ayurveda says that it is good. Lekana property, Vedavaya property, Kapakna property, Yogavaya property, everything is there. So that you can say that you can eat moderately. Word, always my best friend Dan always says that if somebody is calling, he will enter moderately. I am Madhyastha. Use my word. That will take it. This is moderately you can use. While framing the syllabus, UG and PG, He was telling always interfering in between that one. I say one answer. That is called Madhyastha. And we agree. Because somebody will be high, somebody will be low. In middle is come, we will say Madhyastha. Then we will take average. Average is not Madhyastha. So always I prefer Jain principle Madhyastha. So it also moderately you take it, definitely it keeps your body healthy. Every day you take it, there is no issue. Okay. Because Nitya Seminar is there. Okay. Now, Patya Vihara. Morning, since our keynote address was telling Vyayama, walking, the only best medicine for every disease, especially diabetes mellitus, pre-diabetes, etc. Udvartana, occasionally or once in 15 days, once in 1 week, those who are risk factor to get that pre-diabetes, ask them to go to frequently, once in a month, or once in 50 days, Udvartana, Kapahara, Meda Pravilayana. So Kapha and Meda is the known most culprits in the pre-diabetes. So these can be under control if they undergo Udvartana regularly. And Snana, useful. 2 times Snana with Ushnodaka, definitely Kapha will be reduced. So that has Meda also will be reduced. Snana also will be reduced. Now, Rati Jagarana. I am not asking you to do it Jagarana. Somebody is from Nitra, Jamnagar. In Jamnagar there is one place. Every day there is a bhajanas. 24 hours. Morning to evening. Alright? That place I don't know, I forgot. I also maintained there. So every day there will be bhajanas will be there. Total night. So if you walk weekly twice, if they go there, they will stay there, not Jagarana. With bhajanas. All is excellent they are doing. Every day, since so many days is there. So, batch when they will come, today one batch, tomorrow one batch, they are going on in bhajanas. Total night. So that way I can suggest that you go to bhajanas, you learn to only spiritual devotion every 15 days. Rati Jagarana, definitely will control your sugar level. That's my suggestion. Rati Jagarana also good. Now let's changes as a note, regular physical activity, stress management, sleep. This is my diet chart we are giving to my patients in Ayurveda College. Okay, and one study we conducted, and long back, 10 years back, one study we conducted. See here, bitter gourd juice one day, ashwagandha one day, fenugreek water one day, and rotate it. Morning. Later, tulaka yusha, vegetable salad, ragi ganji, vegetable salad, broken wheat upma, rava idli, coriander chutney, methika chutney, sprouts 4 to 6 spoons. These are alternatives. And now, methika jala, jeera jala, or methika takra. So takra we are suggesting. Every day takra they are not following. Go for water, methika water, like that. And 1 p.m. Eva chapati, or that's why eva roti, green leaf vegetable, buttermilk, ragi ball, boiled rice, sambar. Ragi ball means with ragi they are treating the ragi mutte ball. Ragi flour in hot water they mix it properly, they will get ball. That's very famous in Karnataka. Ragi ball. Ragi mutte they will call in Karnataka. It's an excellent food for them. Okay. And herbal tea, green tea or fruit salad at 5 p.m. 8 p.m. Dukya Krishna, fruit salad, chapati, red rice or khichdi, vegetable curry, salad, buttermilk. As per their convenience, they can add it. They can change every day. Monotony should be avoided. Every day Mudgoisha they will not take it. One day Mudgoisha, one day khichdi. Khichdi means pressure, what we can call. The same thing. And 9 p.m. another meal with one pinch of harika. This we are suggesting. They are happy. Because they wanted that, sir, I should reduce my sugar level. That's all. If you give Visha also will take it. Everywhere diabetes will take only. That's why Karavela they will take more. Okay. This is my suggestion. And these are preferred vegetables: Karavela, bottle gourd, ash gourd, carrot, lady's finger, cucumber, garlic, drumstick, cabbage, pumpkin. Preferred fruits are 150 grams of food every day. They may ask question to you, pre-diabetes, etc. Sir, should I take food or not? You can take it, except 3, as per me. Sitafal, you know Sitafal? Mango, ripened one, and one more sapota. These 3 high glucose level. But others are fructose. That fructose is different from sucrose. The fructose will take time to digest. That's why blood sugar level will be not increased highly. That's why every day you can take one fruit. A small banana also will be helpful. Unbalanced, as we know very well. And conclusion: yoga diet, primordial and primary prevention, not secondary. Primordial. You are not expected. You are getting your mother, father have. That's why from childhood you can start. After the age of 25 years, that is primary. You are risk factor. That's why start. So yoga and diet are the primordial and primary prevention. And yoga and diet can play significant role in the pre-diabetes. Incorporating yoga and diet in their lifestyle, especially in the school level. School level, if you introduce, they can start practice of yoga, following diet. Definitely we can prevent the pre-diabetes, diabetes. Last see, yoga and Ayurvedic lifestyle modality can be introduced in the school education syllabus, which will be useful in achieving Madhumeha Mukta Bharat. Did you heard? TB Mukta Bharat, Tambak Mukta Bharat. Like that way, Madhumeha Mukta Bharat. Is it possible? Is it possible? It is possible when children are educated, when mother and parents are educated, and they know complications of the diabetes. Everybody knows. Those who are having complicated diabetes, they know better. Ask them to educate other people. I am suffering from like this way. So that can be prevented by one simple things. So that will be equal Madhumeha Mukta Bharat. Take home message. After age of 30 years, go for HbA1c checkup every year, so that you can early detect the pre-diabetes and have a weekly once bitter gourd in your culinary preparation and prevent diabetes. That's why I told you, Ayurveda use once in a day, once in a week or twice in a week, definitely can prevent it. And lastly, every day Chankramana or Acharya sister word Chankramana, walking 30 to 40 minutes keeps diabetes away. A day away keeps your doctor, like that we can promote that. Walking keeps away pre-diabetes from you. Okay, that's my suggestion. And thank you organizers for accepting the visit. And you, especially Dr. Devika, Principal Madam, and other Ayurveda committee, sharing my views. Thank you very much.
We sincerely thank you, sir, for that engaging and thought-provoking session. Now, attendees who have queries may please note them on paper and hand them over to the volunteers.
Thank you, ma'am, and sir, for the enlightening sessions you carried on. And I think our national session is named as Repair. And in that perspective, I think we need to repair with our Sapnya, which is more a traditional food style, and unpair from the contemporary Asapnya foods. So we have to repair and unpair in a dietary perspective. And we need more of a crosstalks between Ayurvedic people and contemporary nutritional people, because we are speaking the same thing but in different languages. So these kind of crosstalks will empower us to have an evidence-based system in this, and you fared well in that, and you showed a lot of light into how Ayurvedic dietary principles can be transcribed into modern contemporary things. And I think the two things which are mainly we have to look on is oxidative stress and chronic inflammation or pro-inflammation. The pro-inflammation which can be vaguely correlated as AMA, and the oxidative stresses which is contributed both by food and also by the stress. The two pillars, the nidra and food, is very important because these two things contribute significantly into the stress factor, which in turn reduces acne and increases the chronic inflammation. So these things, these food items and also the stress factor contributes to insulin resistance or diabetes or any sort of chronic diseases, or we could say lifestyle diseases. And one thing I think not much have mentioned is the importance of yoga in reducing the stress and also increasing heartbeat. Because if you are focusing on insulin sensitivity of the muscles, the weight training is enough. Where yoga fares better is it reduces stress and also it sensitizes the muscles. So insulin resistance will be much lowered by practicing yoga, and also the HPA axis, and it will trigger the HPA axis and also. And another one is, I think, the how you should choose the diets. Actually, I think that choosing of diet should be based on principles rather than a centralized kind of directives. It should be Kalasatmya or person and person's atmya, or actually the Purusha's atmya we would say. So Kala and Purusha and all these factors should be very much important in directing or choosing the dietary pattern for that patient. And also, I beg to differ with you, sir. You said it is in primordial and primary prevention, yoga and diet is significant, but I think the significance may be varied, but it is still useful in all the thing, including the tertiary prevention. And thank you, ma'am. I think we can move on to the questions. Ma'am, it is for you. It was a really enlightening session. May I know why carrots are not included in an obese diabetic person's plates?
Okay. For an obese, we know that kapha is really high. One is that. And in modern dietetics, if you ask me, roots and tubers are rich in starch and it is having a high glycemic index. So that's the reason we usually avoid the roots and tubers for obese diet.
The second question also to you, ma'am. While the question is a bit long, I will cut short. Why you avoid non-veg foods? And second one, the social media is promoting 100 grams protein per day. Are you in agreement with that? And the third one is, what is your thought on probiotics?
So, the second question, 100 grams of protein, definitely that is not achievable unless and until you are an athlete or you are going to, gym or you're doing some heavy workouts. Other than that, like if you are having a sedentary lifestyle, that 100 grams of protein is definitely not possible, and it is not good in a long term if you're taking more protein. The first question.
Why you avoid non-veg foods?
Oh, definitely not. I don't avoid non-veg foods at all. I definitely include it in my diet. In perspective, if they are non-vegetarian, I include the lean proteins as sir was saying, fish, eggs, or chicken. Whichever is lean protein will be included because we definitely need high biological value protein. So I don't avoid non-veg foods unless and until if the patient is a vegetarian. Third was probiotics. Yeah. Inclusion of probiotics is definitely good because we know that our gut diversity improves with the use of probiotics and prebiotics. So, very simple way to improve that in your diet is just having takra. Takra is a very good probiotic and it can be easily prepared at home as well. So, practically speaking, including just one glass of takra would be very helpful in terms of probiotic.
Okay, the next question, actually, two people asked the same question around. And any nutritional value difference in Purana Shali, actually, order rice, which is advised for diabetic people in Ayurveda. Is there any difference between newly harvested rice, so Navadhaniyam, and stored rice, which is Purana Dhani? Have you ever tasted those?
So, old rice and the new rice, right? Yeah. So, recently there was a paper published in terms of the old rice and the new rice. They found that the old rice which is having the longer grain is better for a diabetic patient. It is having a medium glycemic index but not low glycemic index. And the short grain variety
So another question is, what is the effect of conscious eating in diet?
That's a very good question. Conscious eating is something that we always promote because I can be a dietitian, I can be a doctor, I can be a counselor, but it depends on the individual to pursue it and follow it. So consciousness is very important, and the like you feel that you're accountable for somebody is also very important. In that way, like the follow-ups that you do with your patients is very important because then the patient feels that you're more accountable to somebody, and then there is a good follow-up, and then they follow the diet really good. So consciousness is something very important with a perspective of as a practitioner and the patient.
The next question regarding the storage of food material in different materials like copper and gold, which is it will affect the food quality.
See, copper, zinc, etc., iron, all of these are micronutrients that definitely our body requires. So we have something called as recommended dietary allowance. If you are going above the limit, then it becomes toxic. But most of our foods, unless and until you don't have a deficiency, we don't need to supplement with any of these. And if you are meeting the RDA, then it's not going to be an issue unless you are going above the upper limit.
The question was regarding the storing things in gold vessels, and if somebody could provide us with a gold vessel, we could do it as a story. Considering the cost of gold, it is not possible for us. And the next question, what is your opinion regarding including oats in that daily diet, overnight soaked oats, etc.? It is commonly practiced on Kerala.
Okay. Oats is really good in terms of what kind of oats you use. So if you're using instant oats, definitely not, because that is highly processed. But if you're using something called as rolled oats, which is little lesser processed, will have high fiber when you compare to the instant oats. So rolled oats would be a better choice for somebody who's like a working person, a working man or a working woman. I would suggest the rolled oats, like the soaked oats for them. But in a longer run, you must include different varieties of food. Otherwise, if you're just focusing on one particular ingredient, then your the diet diversity becomes very poor. So in case like maybe three.
Egg also, company they say, and somebody will they say that you can reduce the non-amine food also. So that way fat will be decreased, then definitely vitamin D will be in their body. But till now, mornings are told, in diabetes patients they never complain of pain in bone, they never complain. But still vitamin D will be less in the food because of the fat they reduce. That's the rule.
The next question, which one is a good probiotic out of curd, yogurt and buttermilk? And in Ayurveda, curd is efficiently and is it okay to consume frequently?
It is definitely buttermilk. It's the only providing buttermilk is suggest because Ayurveda mentioned the efficiently curd, and in prameha chapter curd also is contradicted. So buttermilk is the best probiotic under milk products.
Next question is role of intermittent fasting in insulin resistance.
I will not suggest that. Intermittent fasting also, any fasting, definitely there will be variation in the insulin level. So intermittent fasting also not, fasting is not suggestible in the diabetes mellitus. Because whenever they get hungry, they can eat frequently but less quantity. That is important in diabetes mellitus to keep the insulin level normal. So fasting in the diabetes mellitus, I can suggest. It's not. Maybe.
Okay, thank you, Madam Sir, for your thoughtful answers. And we are moving on to the chair for his concluding remarks. Thank you, sir.
Prepare 2026. The sessions are very logically arranged, and I think by the end of the seminar, you will get the whole idea of the subject. And this second session mainly explores the scope of Ahara and Vyayama in previous sessions. Basically, Ahara we consider as Upachaya. The benefits of Ahara are considered as Bhavan, Upachaya, and Ojas. Vyayama is Apachaya or Apachaya. So Upachaya and Apachaya, there has to be a balance between. So this we call as Samatva or Samyam. And that is why in the definition of health or rather life itself, we have the term Samayoga Vahi. Upachaya and Apachaya has to be balanced. This is very much common in the context of Pre-Diabetes and Insulin Resistance. So we have considered that all the diseases are due to the imbalance between these two, Upachaya and Apachaya. So this is something should be to correct this imbalance. Then coming to the presentations, all the speakers presented this subject matter in very incidents for every day. Dr. Sonia began with her presentation with the famous quote from Ayurveda Government Ayurveda Seminar. Kim Amshata Vishwavani, Kim Asani Vedanta Seminar, Kim Amshata Vishwavani, which is very much learned information like this. She also presented the three schooners with the picture of a school. But my father has added one more schooner, which is Vyayama. Ahara Nidra Vyayama Brahmagari Susayidhi. He modified this slogan. Originally this slogan is Ahara Chayana Brahmagari Vidyamshayidhi. So this slogan is modified to Ahara Nidra Vyayama Brahmagari Susayidhi Shariram Bhavine Adharana. So this specifically is also not given in the Ransom also in the language. Especially in the 8 Ahara Visheshayana, like Sahara, Samhita, Samskara, Mahara, and looking Ashtanga Samhita, which is India. She has quoted from Charaka Samhita. And actually, Susuka has added this 8th one, that is so the peculiarities of the individual has also been considered as a single individual, ill or bad, ill or good effects of food. The role of Yava, she highlighted about comes to body, maybe it is a famous word from Charaka Samhita. The two are considered by them as the gunas to be incorporated in the country. But the problem with the level is that it is articulate. So it is better to take the principle of schooling itself. During the Arapanam school day, with the income, that principle, Guru Amarapana, is ideal for yoga. So that can be a better principle to choose food in retail. There one thing has to be considered, the meaning of Guru. It is not the one mentioned in Guru. That Guru is different from this Guru because Gurunam Artha Saudhityam, the Gurunam, here Guru is not easily digested. More time consumed for digestion, such foods are considered as Guru. Student is also the same meaning we have to take Matrashi. So coming to the Shimbi-Dhanyas, the problem Mudga has solution, she has solution. The problem with Mudga is not only Mudga but with the Shimbi-Dhanyas or the columns and pulses is that they have a technical which can cause constipation, and also it can cause the disorder of the body. That is why it is considered as one of the etiological factors of the body. So why samskara? Why samskara first? Some samskara, maybe by adding srita or oil, we will overcome that problem. That should be considered. The science with yoga is well correlated with our saying. So she presented with a study that it lowers the fasting. Probably speaking is highlighting the use of Takram. But the problem with today's Takram is that it is not properly chunked. The traditional methods of making Takra is not now because it is with the mixie we are making for traditionally we use blender or Kadago. Actually, there is a synonym for Takram as Vrindavan, made with the blender. So that oil has to be considered by in Kerala, it is tradition to have several Takra padakas. In classics, we have Kira padakas, but in Kerala, many medicines are used to medicate Takra. So in Kerala, we use Ayurvedic and Ayurveda medicate that can be used for even the Juna we can also be used to medicate or prameha. It is also used in several contexts. Drinking water is not mentioned by any of these two days. This so these single drugs can be used to medicate the drinking water, which can be while formulating the diet, one has to consider the dosha. In Ashtanga, we have the only Ashtanga, we have the classification like Government Ayurveda. So Government can be considered as a stage or initial stages of diabetes, while Ayurveda can be the intermediate stage and the terminal stage can be considered as Ayurveda. So the diet should be suited to the clinical staging of the diabetes. That also should be considered. While classification that also should be considered for formulating the particular. meal can be kept in mineral water overnight, and with that we can cook the rice, and that can be consumed. Something simple method. Instead of mineral water, any formulation or formulation can also be used for this bhavana. Coming to the yoga or exercise part of the small this presentation. Yoga can be considered even though it is shamasana. Shamasana is like proceeding for proper disorders. That is why we have to do the Viparita asana to each yogasana. Whereby that you so yogasanas can be considered as both Viparita and Viparita. Decreased by can be decreased by the practice of yoga. Similarly, we have specific yogas which can alter this environment. So we can usually consider as exercises. Chandramana is also a very good option. In addition to Sushrutas, benefits. Bhakra has added Varani Lokana also as a property of this Chandramana, and it can be adjusted to the individual. So with this speed we can adjust or personalize the mode of this Chandramana. That can also be considered by basic. Ragi, of course, historically speaking, it is from the Ayurveda Empire that Ragi became more popular in Karnataka, and I think there is one Carnatic song by Ayurveda on Ragi, highlighting the importance of Ragi. So nowadays they are using Ragi especially in Mysore areas. So the incidence of diabetes is reduced in those areas. Dhatri Nisha, unusual Dhatri Nisha. These can be used in very different forms, in churna form, or for drinking water, or preparing takta. In the case of Jagarana, we cannot advise a complete Jagarana, but we can reduce the number of hours of sleep. In that way, in practice, we can make use of this Jagarana, even though it is mentioned in the Bhakti or Diabetes Ashtanga, Rutsham, Ratungya, Nishikara. We cannot awakening throughout a day, but reducing the number of hours, also avoiding the daytime sleep, we can stick to the suggestion of Ayurveda. Navatmanya was also mentioned. Traditionally, Kerala, the singles are after harvest is kept nearly for 1 year, and only that we go for building the such cereals rice. So nowadays, what Navatmanya is more in use. Even it can be kept as hari or rice form also we can use hari chor. We also know what hari chor is. But it was traditionally used in Kerala, hari or Virana. This because of this Navatmanya, I feel the instance of diabetes and diabetes is increasing in Kerala, and Kerala is becoming a capital these the ideas of these two speakers in our day-to-day practice. And as these are pointed out, it has to be given a more important weightage in our syllabus and curriculum so that we can move Thank you.
We sincerely thank Sonia ma'am, Dr. Sudhakar sir, Dr. Murali sir, and Dr. Sridhar sir for adding your valuable insights and enlightening us. May I request our esteemed panel of dignitaries to come onto the stage as we move on to the presentation of token of appreciation. With great respect and heartfelt gratitude, I invite our distinguished speaker, Dr. Sonia Belson ma'am, to kindly come forward and receive the certificate of appreciation and memento as a token of our profound admiration and thanks. May I request Dr. Shailama ma'am, Professor and HOD, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, to kindly present the certificate. May I kindly request our distinguished speaker, Dr. Sudhakar Reddy sir, to kindly come forward and receive the certificate of appreciation and memento as a token of love from Shailama ma'am. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Murali sir kindly to come forward and receive the certificate of appreciation and memento from Dr. Sindhu C. ma'am, Principal GAVC Tribunal. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Sridhar sir to kindly come forward and receive the certificate from Sindhu ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. As we come to the conclusion of Day 1 of Pre-Diabetes National Seminar 2026, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to our expert speakers and all the participants for making this day so informative and engaging. Today's sessions have been incredibly enriching, seamlessly adding new layers of insight to our existing understanding of the subject. While today was a success, tomorrow promises to be even more stimulating as we dive into deeper discussions and tackle even more thought-provoking questions. Thank you all for your presence, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for an even more impactful second day. With this, we conclude today's academic session. With great excitement, now we move on to the cultural events featuring our very own college band, Thuma. We request everyone to kindly stay back and enjoy the performance by the band.
Continue.
Tomorrow the session will commence by 9 a.m. We request everyone to kindly stay back and enjoy the performance by the band. The performance will commence soon.
Keta, where? Performance is there. Keta. What did you do?
The cultural events will be starting soon. We request everyone to kindly stay back.
सूरज जल्दी आओ, कल्चरल इवेंट स्टार्ट होने वाला है। रईस सर आओ, प्रोग्राम होने वाला है, कुछ होने वाला नहीं है। एक सिंगर आए हैं। ओ थैंक यू सूरज, आई विल कम सून।
Check, check. Hello.
Dear ladies, respected faculty, dear friends, music has the power to energize mind and
Sorry, Bluetooth connectivity എന്തോ പ്രശ്നം.
Thank you.
Ayurveda